If you're looking for simple editing techniques that look complex, then you've come to the right place. My name's Dan, you're watching DanVinci, and in this video, I'm going to cover off 5 of my favorite simple editing techniques that look awesome and complex. Number 1 is match shape cuts. And you might be wondering what on earth this is. Well, it's a trend that I've seen on the internet when it comes to montages, and it looks so cool, but it is literally just cuts. Incredibly simple, but has an amazing payoff. Basically, all you do is go around taking photos of objects that have a similar shape to them. So for example, in my case, circles. You can go around a town center with your camera and take photos of all the circles from a similar distance, then grab those pictures, drag them into your editing software, and then flicker between them. I'd recommend flickering between the pictures fairly quickly, as well as lining up your shape as close as possible from shot to shot. This does take a while, but it's not complex and it's easy to do. Add sound effects. This is fundamental, sound effects, and we'll get onto this in a minute. And it really sells the effect, like really sells it. Yes, it does take some effort to do, but in principle, it is a simple technique. A simple editing technique that I can tell you now comes across as complex. When you enter the color page in DaVinci Resolve, it may look like a cockpit to an aircraft, because when I first started, it very much did. What I'm trying to get at is color grading is complicated, but the image looks really professional. How is this a simple editing technique, Dan? Well, now there are very simple ways to color grade in DaVinci Resolve. You don't have to be a color grade artist to make something like this. You can utilize effects like Film Look Creator and Analog Damage. These are 2 absolutely fantastic effects that literally all you need to do is drag and drop like this. You grab it, you drag it, and you drop it. And then you've got art. Now that's art, is it not? Now, as you can see on your screen, this is real time, and that's it. Now, unfortunately, a lot of these effects that are drag and drop in DaVinci Resolve are limited to the studio version, so you will have to cough up a bit of money, but it's lifetime, no subscription, so why not, get it. Just pay the money. Now, we all know how important sound effects are for a short film, a TV show, or even just a YouTube video. I use them all the time. You ready? If you look anywhere online, you'll see sound effects that are used to enhance a piece of content. And it's what sets apart the amateurs from the pros. Do not underestimate sound effects, as it is one of my honorable mentions for this video. And trying to find sound effects that sound real and is, well, like really professional is also quite hard. A video without professional sound effects in it just does not stand out. It is so essential that you get it right, and audio can certainly help you. If you're looking for professional audio content for your videos, music, sound effects, the lot, audio is the full package. I thought just to show off to you guys at how good the quality of the sound effects are that Audiio has to offer in their catalog. Some of the sound effects in the background of this video right now are theirs, like this dog. That's not a real dog, that's an Audiio sound effect. The police siren in the background, guess what? It's also an Audiio sound effect. If you guys are interested in Audiio, in the description I'll leave links to them, and if you put in the coupon DanVinci, you'll actually get a pretty good deal, bringing their year's subscription down to $59. Go check them out in the description below. Now, no matter what editing software you're using, you will have access to some kind of camera shake. And I can tell you now, get used to using it, because it's such a powerful effect that can really emphasize a hit or an impact. Combine camera shake with a sound effect, you've got a recipe that is simple but powerful. You don't want too much camera shake. This effect is pretty simple, and this is exactly how you make it. Make a copy of your clip and create a freeze frame on the first frame of the shot you want to transition into. That way we don't have to animate our mask, and it will stay exactly on our subject. Using that freeze frame, then cut out your subject like you see on screen. This is the free way. You can obviously use the magic mask if you have Studio, but I like to manually cut it out if I have the time, because it gives you a cleaner cut. Once you've cut out your object, simply use your transform keyframes on a transform node, for example, tool to animate your object coming in from A to B.
Bye-bye.
And obviously the final resting point, you want it to be exactly where it is in the frame. So basically where it was originally. Then just create an adjustment layer, drag this into your timeline, and then place it on your timeline like you see here. You want the first frame of the adjustment clip to be over the first frame of the clip that hasn't been masked. Then just search camera shake in effects, apply this to your adjustment layer. Then on your first frame, make sure that camera shake is cranked right the way up. And then towards the end of your adjustment clip, make sure the camera shake keyframes are brought right down. This then creates a hit vibration look. Combine this with a hit sound effect and you get this. Mask push transitions. This is rather simple. It does require a little bit of masking, but really it's so simple and it looks pretty cool. All you need is a shot like this. So in the background, you want a subject like a car, and then in the foreground, passing along the frame, an object that slides across. So if we find our object here, in our case, it's this beam. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to find the point in which it starts. So probably about here. And I'm going to jump into Fusion on this clip. Now what we're going to do is I'm going to create a polygon mask. You can drag it down from this toolbar here, or you can control space and search it in the search bar. All you need to do, literally, is find your object, find the point in which the next part of the frame begins, and just create a mask. And mine's pretty simple. I just need to make a square like this. There you go. Magic. If you see in the inspector over here, which is this, you'll see right click here for shape animation. Make sure this is red, so you have a keyframe selected. And then what you want to do is just match it up with the edge of whatever you're cutting out. I'm just going to move along the timeline, make sure this is all lined up. And for me, it pretty much is. There we go. Nice. I'm going to do it again here. Line it up with the bar, and again, just here. And once our object in the foreground has completely gone out of the frame, you want the mask cover the whole frame like that. And do the same for the beginning. And there we go. We've made a simple mask in literally 5 seconds. Well, not quite 5 seconds, but you get what I mean. But we're not done. If we go down into our node tree area, we'll see the polygon at the minute is floating by itself and it's not connected to the node tree, and it wants to be. Father help! Drag the output, which is the square here, over to the blue triangle, or just onto the object. It should snap onto the blue triangle. And then what you want to do is go onto the blue polygon, go into the inspector, and depending on what you want, in my case, I want this to cut out this section here to reveal the shot behind. We want to click invert in the inspector, and then a little trick is, as you can see, the edge is quite sharp. We can just go into the inspector here and make it a little bit softer. Might bring out the border width a little bit. This basically expands the mask on the border width because I'm a little bit off here. It's a little bit like that. There you go. There you go. Then we just need to jump back into the edit page and put this shot up one on the timeline, drag in another shot, and then look at that. That is an incredibly simple editing technique that I genuinely believe comes out as something far more complex. It looks so clean, so good. And if you don't have a great deal of editing experience, or you're in the free version of DaVinci Resolve, you can do this. I believe in you. We all believe in you. You can do it. You can achieve anything. You can accomplish wonders. Be the president of the world.
In the world.
Anyway, moving on. Number 2, speed ramping. Right, so continuing with the shot that I had before where I've cut it out here, what I want to do is I can see that this is a bit slow. We could speed this transition up and make it even better. Find a point with your clip before the transition takes place on your timeline. I want to go probably about here. Control R on your keyboard opens up the retime controls. This is a visual way of seeing what your speed is on your clip. But if we go into the keyframes here, we can see speed in the bottom left, which is what we're going to be using today. Now, what you want to do is you want to go into the spline area. Make sure you've got this tool selected just here to create a keyframe on your clip. Then making sure speed is selected on the parameters just here. So if it's not selected, it'll be grayed out like this. It's quite hard to spot. DaVinci Resolve, please fix this. Just click like that. There you go. And it's created a keyframe.
Wow, that was informative.
This is a keyframe, nothing's changed, but we can apply changes very simply now. So if we go over to the side of the clip that we want to speed up, and I'm just going to click from the top of the clip, drag it along, you'll see the speed rapidly increasing. It's like I was having a stronk there.
Non's having a stronk.
Now, the sharp-eyed among you will notice in the keyframe section here, we have the graph which is now changed. It's very clear that this is the slow bit and this is the fast bit. So if we click on the keyframe now, what we can do is go over here and click the ease and ease out. And we can click the little handles here, drag them out. It's eased in and out now. So we can drag this in and you can make it really aggressive. Then, as you can see, our transition is now a bit quicker. And stylistically, if you combine 2 speed ramps together, one speeding up and one slowing down, you get a shot like this. So here's some honorable mentions. Obviously, just sound effects. This is really simple. Another one is the equalizer in DaVinci Resolve. Going into the equalizer and crushing the right-hand side of the graph gives you this really nice muffled sound effect, which is brilliant for underwater transitions.
I am under the water, please help me.
It just sounds really cool. It's simple to do, but it sounds complex. That is 5 simple editing techniques that look complex, plus some extra ones, because I'm a kind man. Thank you very much for watching. Feel free to subscribe. My name's Dan, you've watched DanVinci, and I hope you've enjoyed this video. I've had a lot of energy, and I should go and calm myself down.